So let us create a web form using which a user can add the information about the book. So I have a basic structure of the HTML code, and now I have to make the form. So for making a form, I need the form element, and in the form element, I need to specify some attributes. For example, let's say I give it name to this form as F1, and I will specify the method used to submit the data, and I'm using the post method. We discussed in our second chapter the various types of methods. So I'm using here post method, and I will use the action attribute, and action attribute I'm leaving it blank. So action attribute specifies which page or which PHP page will receive this form data. If I leave this action attribute as blank, it means the data submitted by this form will be received by the same file. Now, the first thing I need in the form is a drop-down list where the users can specify the category of the book. So I will show to the user text book category, and then I will create a drop-down list. For drop-down list, we use a select element. So select start and select close, and let me name this drop-down list as category, and now I'll make the options of the drop-down list. So for options, we need option elements. So I will keep 3 options. The first option for, let's say, PHP books, and what the user sees in the drop-down list will be specified in between the option element. So I can just write here PHP. So similarly, I'll keep the 3 categories, PHP, C, and let's say Java. So for here also for C, if you choose the category C, then value C should go to the server. Similarly, if you choose Java, I want that, then in that case value Java should go to the server. So up till now we have one drop down list in the form. We can just see here. So book category, PHP, C, and Java. So our drop down list is ready. Now let me add the second element. For second thing we need is user should enter the ISBN number of the book. So for this we will use a text box, input type equal to text, name is equal to, so I'll give it name ISBN only, and close here. So if I refresh here, you can see now I have a text box where the user can enter the ISBN number. The next thing I will need is the book title. So book title, again for this I will need a text box, input type equal to text, and name equal to, since we'll be putting the price here, so I will just name it as price. So let's refresh here. Yeah, and book title, you can enter the book title here. The next thing I need to accept from the user is the price. So right here, book price, and again for price I will need in text box. So input type equal to text and name. Since this control is accepting the price, so I just name it as price and close this element here. Let's refresh and check. So book price, again the user can type the price here. The next thing I want to note down is the language of the book. So BR book language. The book will be available in different languages like English, Arabic, or French, and a book can have only one language. Therefore, I will use a radio button for this. So for radio button, we have control input type equal to radio, name equal to since we are accepting the language through these radio buttons, so I will name this radio button group as language, and value equal to whatever the language you choose. So let's say if you choose English language, then I want the value English should be sent to the server. So if you refresh here, you can just see here book language. I have made radio button for English. Similarly, I can do it for Arabic and French also. So I'll just copy this code and third time. So for other languages, input type is radio. The name will not change because all these three radio buttons will have same name because they form the same group of language. And the value, now for the second one, I want to keep this value as Arabic, and what the user will see, the word Arabic. If they choose Arabic, value Arabic will go. And the last one is, let's say French, and this is what the user will see, French. And if you choose this radio button, then value French will go. So let's refresh and check our form. Yeah, so English, Arabic, and French. So you see, since all these three controls radio buttons have same name, so this is one radio group. So from the group, only one can be selected. If you select one, other are automatically deselected. After radio buttons, after language, the next thing I want to have is that whether the book is available in Oman and available in India or not. So for this I will need two separate checkboxes. So let's say BR to be sold or available in. So first I will make checkbox for India. So for making checkbox, input type equal to check box, and name, I'll keep it name as India, and value also I'll keep it India, and what the users see and what the user will see after this checkbox, that I will write outside the checkbox. So same thing I can do for Oman also. I will copy this, paste here, and make the necessary changes. So input type is equal to again checkbox, But unlike radio button, checkboxes will have separate names, because checkboxes are independent entities, but radio buttons, in the example above, it was a group name, it was not independent. Okay, because you had to choose one out of those 3 languages. But checkboxes are independent. You can choose none, you can choose one option, or you can choose all options. Okay, name is equal to Oman, and value also I will write here Oman, and what the user will see is, let's say, Oman. So we have these things. The last thing I want to add is the comment or the description about the book. So for this, since the comment can be lengthy, it can be more than 255 characters, and it's a descriptive information. So for this, we will use the control text area. Close text area, and we'll give it name. I'm giving it name comment. So if you refresh now, to be sold in India, I can select both, I can select none, I can select one, and similarly comment, I can give the comment here. And the last thing that I want to add in the form is submit button, because if you don't have a submit button, the form will not be submitted. So again, BR, I'll go to the next row, and here for making a submit button, I will write input type equal to submit, and I'll give it some name. Let's say I give it name submit1, and value equal to, so whatever I write in this value for this attribute value, that will be displayed on the submit button. So if I refresh here, you can see here this button, line number 30, creates a button, submit button, and its name is submit1, and value is add book. That means the text that is displayed on the button. So this completes our form. Now, as we mentioned here, that since the action attribute is blank, so once you click the submit button, add book button, then the PHP code of the same page, this page, will receive the form data. So only PHP code can receive the form data. HTML code cannot receive the form data. So below the form, I will write the PHP tags, and here I will write the PHP code which will receive the form data. So this we will be covering in our next lecture. So right now we have finished the form. So let me see you in the next lecture.